Stream starting. So, officially, welcome to Confusion PCVR HOP. Um, I presume, Profidor, you're in VR?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
You will be the only one probably today, as Firebee is on
For desktop, that makes sense, yeah.
desktop stroke
Yeah, I've
laptop.
got yeah, I got a funny issue with my internet right now, which won't allow me to access VR and Discord apps on my headset. It's really weird. It makes no sense, but yes, and on my mobile, it won't allow me. It's super weird, but I'm trying to sort it out with my provider. But I don't know what's going on. Freaking
Yeah,
nuts.
Even Steam VR? Oh,
I feel like that must
that's
feel
crazy.
confusing. No?
Yeah, yeah.
It does
Absolutely.
sound confusing.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a
Yeah.
good hook in. So before we get back to, I was discussing while waiting for you with Firebee what confusion feels like, but I'm just gonna mention that you gave me a bunch of worlds to try for today. So
Ooh,
yeah,
nice.
we're
Okay.
still gonna get the good stuff, hopefully. So I asked the question, what does confusion feel like in the body? Where do you feel it? So I'm
Yeah,
curious, Firebee, if
we. I was gonna say we talked a little bit about this on the Quest Hop
we
world.
did, yes.
It's good to refresh. Yes.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious, Firebee, if this whole business with the uh, not working VR or Discord thing, um, whether that can help you figure out where you're feeling confusion.
Yeah, so it's actually been a really good anchor point for that because now I'm coming up with definitely more answers than I had before. And like in my body, I start to feel like a tightness in my chest because I get very frustrated when I can't figure
Mm.
something out. And then quite angry too. So I feel like a lot of anger symptoms in my body, like sweating, kind of shaking a little bit, that tightness in the chest. I become more unregulated as well. So I start to get the physical symptoms of unregulation, which
Mm.
is kind of the same as the symptoms with like anger and frustration. Yeah. So I actually think physically my whole body gets taken for quite a ride in those kind of confusing matters. Yeah. Right now where I am in life anyway, I'm working on it, but yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like confusion is kind of the guy who is like standing on the street pointing which way you're meant to drive next, and it's like a transitional emotion that sends you in one of the other directions.
Mm-hmm.
And frustration is definitely one of them.
Yeah.
How about you, Profidor?
Yeah. Like where does confusion exist on me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm very much I'm I still need a lot of practicing for recognizing where emotions are in my body. It's definitely not as intuitive as I would like it to be, but to really meditate on that, I feel like it's very much like in the head. Like when things are confusing, it's like a PC processor starts heating up and it spins and it's like
Mm.
my brain goes into a process of I need to solve this. This is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Being confusing has never really been that safe for me, and in pretty much most situations, I find myself trying to find my way towards clarity and knowledge and understanding as quickly as possible. unless maybe there is an intention to feel confusion. Whether something is meant to be unknown or not is there's sort of a am I supposed to be confused kind of question I will ask in any given moment, and my brain is trying to find every possible solution, like this or that, this or that. Maybe if I try imagining it but this way or that way. Yeah, I think it really does feel like it's a brain activity for me, like the processing, the knowledge, and if not there, then it becomes like a nervous system, like throughout the body, maybe even like the heart in some cases. But yeah, that's it. It provokes other emotions too, like frustration as well, because I'm trying to figure out the situation, and I'm always asking questions about how anything works. At any given moment, I want to know, you know, why am I confused about this? How can I not be, so I can be prepared? Yeah, there's definitely a lot I've learned about myself this month, realizing that it's more of a defense mechanism than anything. So yeah,
and I feel like there's also an element of there's like a gauge of expectation that you that is there when you're confused about something, where you might expect yourself to have known this or to be able to know this, or you might also expect, if it's something that's happened to you, that someone else should have known this and have sorted it out, right? So there's an expectation element that I feel like can very quickly lead to other emotions like frustration. But at the same time, one thing I've been reflecting on this month is Star Trek, and how very often the initial sequence is a state of the captain encounters something very strange. It could be concerning, or it could be just weird, but he ends up in a state of confusion, or he ends up in a state of concern, and as an audience, I'm also in a state of confusion because I don't understand what he's witnessing, but I don't have the expectation on myself to know this. My expectation is that I'm going to find out as the show progresses, and so that's a lot more, shall we say, calm version of confusion.
Yeah. I think that the way you're structuring it around expectations makes it clearer on why the emotion of confusion can either be really negative or probably totally fine in most cases. If you're not expected to know, then you can just kind of revel in the whimsy of whatever anything could be. It doesn't need to mean anything or anything if it's expected that it's not required. And yeah, like watching a movie or a TV show, it's the mystery of what it's going to be by the end. So that's a totally fine version of it. So.
Yeah, I really liked that as well. Yeah, it made a lot of sense.
And then there's also another element. Sometimes I try to figure out a puzzle or a riddle, and I don't have an expectation upon myself to be able to solve it, but I feel determined to solve it, and that in itself can be frustrating. And when I try and think about where I feel that, I keep picturing myself rubbing my temples, like or frowning, or scratching my head. That's actually a common psychological, physical response when someone is learning something, that they'll scratch their head.
Yeah, it feels like a very uh, recognizable gesture you'd see like in a cartoon or something that's meant to
Mm,
easily reflect like character is
Mhm.
thinking head scratch, and yeah,
mm.
that makes sense.
So it could be that it feels like a head itch. Maybe that's confusion for some people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right. Um, I feel like I have like a list, but I'm gonna do this a little bit out of order because you kind of hinted at something. Um, I was
Mm.
gonna ask, when aren't we allowed to be confused?
Hmm.
And
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
this also is probably familiar from the quest hop we did before. So
Mm-hmm.
when does society or whatever group make us feel like we're not allowed or we're not supposed to be confused?
I would say a general answer might be at school, even though you're supposed to be learning new things you've
Mm,
never heard about before. You're often thrown into tests and expectations to say that you learned what you were just taught. And there's this frustration if you're still confused even after a lesson. So
mm,
I think that
Yeah.
gets really beaten into a lot of people in all parts of the world. That childhood is very confusing, and it's somehow also supposed to be something you know what's going on, even though
Mm.
no one. So,
Yeah, I think there's like quite a big emphasis in society to know the answers to everything, and
mm.
there's a quite a bit of shame around if you don't know an answer and you are confused. And
Yeah,
you like see that
mm-hmm,
in people a lot, like all of us sometimes. So yeah, there's quite a big societal impact with that one for sure.
yeah,
sometimes you get
I think
mocked for
in
not knowing something.
Mhm. Mhm.
yeah, oh yeah, definitely. There's so many places where maybe like you're at an airport and you need to know where to get on your flight and have your ticket and where to put your bags. And if you're confused about that, it's not only like shame on you, but like you get, reprimanded with like whatever other consequences there are for
Mhm.
not following through with the guides there. And maybe you have expectations for your job. You have to perform a certain way, and if you're confused about it, depending on the environment, you might be responsible for something really important that if it goes wrong, that would be devastating for whoever is relying on you. Um, it
Hmm.
could be like being a fireman or like chef or teacher. You can't be confused about these roles that people are relying on. And
Yeah.
in that case, you might not feel so much shame, but it's like just pressure and stress.
Mm.
And maybe you even know what to do, but it's just, there's always some curveball that could throw you off that
Yeah,
you don't
there's
know about.
this heavy responsibility uh, in roles like that where you're supposed to know what you're doing. It's
Mm,
part of what you're responsible for. Yeah.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Um, there's also confusion can be kind of freeing as well. And to give an example of that, um, there was this one time I was with my team. We were in this meeting, well, just about to start the meeting, and everyone had forgotten to bring milk for the coffee or the tea or anything.
No.
And so nobody had milk,
no.
but there was
We can't have our tea.
there was a, a cafe just a relatively short walk away. Now they don't sell milk, but I knew that they used milk for serving coffee and stuff. So I suggest I don't drink coffee or tea, so I suggested to them, just go get some milk from there. I'm sure they'll sell it to you, and they were like, no. So I just said, right, I'm gonna do it. I don't need the milk, but I'll do it. So I go over there and I go up to the person and I say, this might be a strange question, but can I buy some milk, just a cup of milk? And they're like, yeah, sure.
Single cup.
How much? And how much would that be? And they were like, 20p. And so, yeah, I managed to solve a situation by putting myself in a kind of confusing space where I don't know any answers, but I'm there to ask whether something is possible.
That's very interesting because it reminds me of the concept of risk taking in general. You're often maybe wanting something, but there's like this might happen or this thing I want to avoid might happen. But if you shove yourself into it, knowing full well that you're taking like a brave step to be in a place of confusion, then that if you give yourself the grace and the expectation that what should happen, then yeah, that makes a lot of sense to be willing to take on that confusion.
Yeah. I guess another more simpler example is in a classroom where everybody's confused by what the teacher's saying, that one student who raises their hand and asks the question is leaning into confusion, which could be for the benefit of the whole class who weren't grasping it and were too afraid to ask. Yeah. Yeah. Right. So let's go over to the dot model.
Oh yes, dot model. Are we already on? Oh yes, if you have. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, we looked at this a little bit on the Quest Hop. It's good to look at it some more.
Let me set it back one actually, so you can see where confusion sits.
Have you seen the dot model before, Firebee?
Yeah.
It's a lot to take in. I've been learning quite a lot from Heyu, trying to see if we can go about recreating this on a bigger scale.
Yeah. It's certainly got a lot to it, but it's super interesting. So I sort of was anyway with the little I've read about it that has been like up for display in this world and stuff. I really liked it. The theory.
Shout out to Heyu for coming up with this stuff.
Right.
So
smart lady.
Yeah. One question that stuck out to me here is, you see that confusion is the first step on the bystander line, and the next one is guilt, and the one after that will be shame. And so my question is, why does confusion lead to guilt when it's becoming more intense?
I think I have an answer for that. As I've been studying with EU, the nature of these axes is that they tend to be a series of emotions that get more and more extreme if you continue to not find a sort of solution or a way to integrate everything back together. And on the bystander axis, the confusion, from what I've seen in previous versions of the dot model, it used to have a different name, mostly a type of numbness or
Mhm.
a way to be labeled as like inactive. And confusion has been sort of a replacement for that, as in the situations of social conflict where a bystander is watching, someone going after another person, like a villain and a victim, and maybe even watching the hero trying to intervene from the first emotion that might arise when that conflict sparks. Like someone just said something like out of the blue that made everyone uncomfortable. There's a sense that the bystander is going into a sense of like not responding. They don't have an exact idea on whether they are feeling irritation or frustration or concern. Like maybe it's concern and there's a sense of should I do something, but if it loops back to confusion, which is both on the victor and the vicar axis, it makes more sense as like a outsider response that doesn't know what to do. So the confusion in what we're learning, I think, is a pretty broad word. It does fit the category well, but I would say there's always a little bit of room for the dot model to be expanded upon or explored further. And it's always going through iterations, but I would say it doesn't mean you can't look at it and maybe get something out of it or rely on it. It's still pretty solid in the 4 axes. So, yeah, that's my understanding. It's a stepping stone of guilt because you're not sure what to do when suddenly, like, your body is more or less shutting down in that case, and it does really represent confusion to a degree.
How about you, Fabi? How?
Yeah. Well, I was trying to think there of how I can go about this. I guess the only way I can go about it is from my own experience. I guess when like I'm confused and I can't solve the issue. And that could be in any context. It could be in my own life. It could be within community or any of these things. If I can't reach a resolution or create a harmonious feeling back, then that guilt will take over. And and it is a kind of numbness, and it is a kind of like standstill where you do shut down because you don't know what to do. And you are overcome by that feeling. I don't know, that's the best way I could explain it from like my own perspective. Which is interesting, yeah, because that relates to like my other aspects of life where I get confused about maybe something I'm witnessing and I want to try and solve it, and I feel the pressure too. And then if that's not a thing, there is a feeling of guilt, and that guilt can lead to like shutting down or withdrawing as well. So yeah.
I'm drawn to a memory I have going through IKEA. If you two know the store, IKEA is a huge store, right?
Do they not have
I
like
love
a
IKEA.
pathway though?
They
I mean,
do,
there are
yes.
doors that do shortcuts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that can be confusing.
in this particular memory, and it was only for a few seconds, there was this woman who was very distraught, walking rapidly backwards through the path, calling out for her child who she'd lost somewhere. And so I was standing there watching her go back through, and in my mind I'm thinking, should I help? Can I help? And so this is where I feel like as that feeling gets more intense, I'd start feeling more guilty that I'm not helping in that situation. So I feel like that fits bystander very well.
Yeah, the loop really can combine concern pretty well, in that like you want to do something, you're seeing a problem, you're concerned, but you're unsure what to do.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
which
many
is it's like a
emotions.
yeah. I mean, there's so much about emotions that people don't really
Yeah.
engage with, I think.
Yeah.
I've heard someone say, and this is a bit of a dramatical statement, but we live in the emotional dark age of humanity. There's never been a time where we don't understand our emotions more than in like the 21st century, which is wild considering how advanced technology is. But it's true, I think. I think back in the day when you could sit and meditate, you would at least like process emotions. Like it probably weren't labeled very well back then, but I would say to some degree it's probably maybe getting only slightly better than it was, even like hundreds of years ago. So we're still in that period, and it's going to take a while for humanity to really advance farther.
Absolutely.
No amount of AI is going to solve people not knowing what they're feeling.
No, I agree very much. So yeah, we're very much only just begun our journey as a species to understanding ourselves this way. Absolutely, yeah.
It's wild, yeah.
I sometimes wonder if, because there are cultures where, like the Old Norse language, that apparently didn't speak the way we did. They had a lot more like analogous words for things. And I sometimes wonder if they might have been more in tune with stuff like this. If, for example, emotions were more synonymous with the words they used.
Yeah, it's very interesting to think about. I mean, I've always wondered about languages that seem to emphasize masculine and feminine like suffixes on objects, and that seems like a strange idea, but it makes sense for a time period in a culture. So I could imagine emotions being like influenced in the language itself would be a very interesting language to learn about.
It's funny because me and my partner not long ago, he's German, so we were discussing the masculine and feminine application in the German language and how that might now become changed because we're no longer fitting into just the two genders anymore and things are expanding. So we had this really long conversation on exactly what you were just saying, how that forms your perspective, how that forms your reality and your connection to your emotions, like language itself and changing language and how it might develop in the future with all these new thoughts and that coming in. So yeah, I like that.
So we've seen confusion leading into frustration or confusion leading into guilt. And obviously confusion.
I want to say it's almost, I would say it feels rarer that it would lead to irritation. I guess maybe if you're confused, you'd feel like I'd be confused leading to irritation if new things kept getting thrown at me over and over. It's like, oh, now I have to know what this is. I have to know what that is. I don't know how I feel like it's usually frustration because of the nature of frustration being something you're trying to do and it not working versus irritating where something is happening to you. Well, I guess they kind of flip-flop, but it does feel like usually it goes to the other two rather than irritation. But
interesting.
This is something I noticed.
So one example of this I can think of is if someone is judging you for something or telling you off for something, you might feel confused because you didn't think it was your responsibility, and then that might then lead into irritation if you're convinced that it wasn't meant to be your job or whatever the case may be. If there's still All right, well, shall we move on to the world hop? Are we ready?
Sure, yeah, I'm ready. I'm interested to see some world and to become confused.
So let's have a look at my list. Do we?
I will say though, if you've ever randomly explored VR chat, I'm assuming you'd be comfortable or at least familiar with the emotion by now.
Yeah, oh god, that is true, yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong there.
Do we want to do a flow world or fear world to begin with? Just to explain the difference between those. A flow world is more pleasant, and a fear world is more, shall we say, deepening.
Maybe we start light and then go deeper.
Okay.
Flow and we go back and forth.
Here's one that I found very pleasant, especially from a creative point of view. You may have seen this one already, but how do I drop a non-public? Hang on.
Oh, Firebee went into it.
All right.
Yeah, you have to go to new instance. Yeah.
All right.
This is very interesting. Yeah, perhaps we can open a new portal.
It might be alright.
Gets here.
It might be alright.
She hasn't joined the world yet, so I wonder if. Oh, there she.
Welcome.
So.
Welcome. I'm gonna set a ground rule that in, let's say, 10 minutes at the most, we return here. Okay.
Well, we should definitely try to explore as we can together.
Yeah.
See what we can.
I'm gonna leave the option open to split up if we want to. But I will follow.
Oh wait, I was gonna ask if you guys can hear me because my mic wasn't lighting up, but it is now.
Yes.
Yeah.
I see it. Perfect. Cool. I think we have to just walk into one of these hallways because I get the impression that there's a lot of different worlds. Well, this one looks like it's from Monument Valley. I know that game. Oh, oh, it uses the portal. There's a portal effect here. That's cool. I love portals that can...
No.
Where do you end up when you fall in the water? Shall we all jump in?
Okay. Whee! Oh.
Did profit or reset?
Anticlimactic.
Now you might understand why I set the ground rules. There you are.
Yeah, I've walked around the whole thing. I don't see a way back on, unfortunately.
We'll have to reset them.
Well, this is confusing.
Yeah.
Oh, it gets better because there isn't just one portal in and out. There's like a series of portals you can walk through, going through different worlds. So it gets quite disorienting.
Yeah, I've seen some tech like that before. I love trying to analyze how worlds work, like the ability to have like a little screen where it kind of shows the other side and just teleports you.
Oh, there's a portal here.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Oh my goodness.
So these are like secret doorways to the rest of the other sections. Oh, this one's so huge. I feel like that's a bench, right? We're clearly too small. And these chairs are massive.
Oh yeah.
How do you?
I'm super tiny.
There's another layer.
Firebee's extra tiny.
Extra tiny.
I guess there's another one down here too. This is fascinating.
Yeah.
Huh. But we can't hear each other through the portal. Neat. Oh, we're like on the second floor. I didn't even know there were other floors. Huh.
Alright, Firebee, you lead this time.
Okay, I'm just gonna
I like the pictures in the wall.
push it a little bit. There we go. Okay. Oh, let's go on this one because it's like nature and snowy.
Mm.
I like nature.
Yeah. Very pretty.
I always try to jump on everything, but there's only so high it'll let you go. Like, even the water has collision.
So,
I did it.
either of you noticing feeling of confusion?
Well, I know how to make worlds inside and out. It's not as confusing as it could be, but there is a confusion on like why all these low poly models, and I wonder where it's trying to go with this.
I do feel a little confusion, but it's really pleasant form of it, and it's really like little and calm because obviously we're going from portal to portal, world to world, and that does cause like that kind of confusion feeling, but it's like fun. It's like a fun confusion, and you want to keep going with it and get more confused in a way because it's fun. If that makes sense.
Yeah, like gives you little gifts along the way that makes it feel like it's worth it. And do you feel like part of it is because there's no expectation set on you to
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
find answers?
It's just living the experience of confusion, yeah, as it is. Which
I want to go through this.
doesn't have to be always bad, does it? I guess. Yeah.
Interesting. It's kind of neat.
I think
another door.
when my confusion would turn sideways a little bit would be if like I lost you guys in these worlds and I was trying to get back to you. I think the confusion would then take on a different form for me.
So
it would be not so pleasant.
That's funny because I'm about to suggest that exact thing. So, Frofador, is there a portal down there for you?
There is. It looks like it goes back to the space one we were just in, but
that's
I can
interesting.
tell it's where we came in on. So it looks like I'd be less interested. I'm more interested in seeking the new space I've never been to, like this one.
So, what I'm gonna suggest is, I guess we're all drawn to this one. This looks quite interesting. But I'm gonna resist. I'm gonna go to a different one. I'm gonna have you two go through here, and let's see if we can find each other again.
Regardless.
Oh no, here comes the expectation.
Let's see if I can find it amongst pictures. I saw what looked like some large version of bonsai trees. Let's see. It could be in one of the worlds upstairs. Close, but not quite. It definitely was greener than that. No. Could that have been it? That's the closest one I can see. Dip my head in.
Yeah, see the
there you are.
Oh, Mary found us.
I found you.
Interesting. I'm still admiring this one. It's pretty neat. I like the nature aesthetic.
So, one thing I just noticed inside me there is that if I become confused and there's an expectation, depending on the level of that expectation and the level of the thing that I need to attend to. If it's pretty lower, I'll tend to just like become oblivious to it and just start like, like for example, just playing around in here instead, because I've kind of shut down the confusion because it's like an uncomfortable feeling when it's with expectation, and if it's not something that I absolutely have to do, I'll just shut it down, which I didn't know about myself, and I don't know what that means. Yeah. Yeah.
It's definitely interesting. Plenty of interpretations.
I
Okay.
definitely feel like I can relate to that, especially when I have to make like a decision between two options, and they're both like they seem kind of equivalent to me, but they move in different directions. So I will end up with different results, but I'm not sure which is preferable, and that is a case where I get really stuck, or at least I certainly used to, and just procrastinate past it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just
Totally
interesting.
fair.
Yeah.
So, how did you find us? Which way did you go? I'm actually.
Well,
I'll have to go back through here. You see, we're back on.
I saw roughly what the world looked like, and I went through each of these pictures, and this one seemed to fit pretty closely.
Yeah. So you came out of one of these.
Yeah.
And like to do it probably wouldn't have even been that difficult as well. Like it's just what logic and working it out. But yeah, so that could have been one path, and then the other one is just like, no, I'm just gonna whimsy about in the flowers for now. It's so the two paths are really interesting. Oh, damn. Yeah. Oh, sorry, my language.
I kind of wish more of these worlds didn't actually lead back to a central hub. I kind of wish it was more confusing. I kind of want to get lost in a giant maze where they would all be interconnected and there'd be only one true exit. And that would be interesting to me.
Well, let's have a look. I don't know if I have a maze-like one. Let's have a look. We'll go to a fear world next. I feel like we're ready for that, right?
Yeah, I think I've seen everything. Like, I could spend more time trying to understand the rest of this, but I have a pretty decent idea on how it works and what they were trying to do, the creators. So, I'm satisfied.
I have one here which made me feel restless and irritated, so let's try that. It's called the Wasteland. Oh, actually, yeah, let's give it a go. We might not spend too long in this one, but alright. Portal dropped.
The Wasteland. Okay. Oh, wow. What's this? Base? Oh.
So this is some kind of a roleplay map.
I see.
No idea how you actually do any of this stuff. When I click the buttons, the only things that seem to work well are teleports.
I would imagine. Let's see. Whoa. I can click the DM speed and I go much faster.
So confused already. I don't even want to touch this thing.
Excellent.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm realizing this is related to roleplay in VR chat, and VR chat roleplay can be complicated with lots of technical mechanics to help facilitate the roleplay, like a master, like a game master or dungeon master to provide the world to change around the players to give them something to react to and to let them know that they're triggering and changing things in the environment. Because I think if you let the players do that without a a leadership figure, they would go crazy and break things pretty quickly. So having someone that's kind of in charge of that makes sense, and I imagine this board would give the players access to those things. And we actually use a similar tool. Oh, it's flying too. Whoa, I think. I think I turned that on somehow, but we use a DM tools or like role playing tools in our world for the Event Horizon, the Black Hole world, so that we can give player or leaders the ability to relocate trolls and give them spaces to work things out. But yeah, it's interesting to get another peek at another system that has been created. But I would say if you never knew what any of this stuff meant, like I actually don't know what any of these things are. Half-breeds, angel knights, brides.
They're like a role-playing game.
It's a divine gargoyle.
It's like their own type of D&D kind of thing.
I want to say it might. I think it's sci-fi though, because there's clearly a spaceship up here.
Yep.
And this wasteland starts with a base, and I guess you travel through it to reach this destination and beyond.
See, we have a master here of figuring things out to avoid confusion.
See, I'm doing it again. Yeah. Let's not try to understand this.
All right.
Whereas I just try to avoid things. I think a lot of the time I'm such an avoidant man. When it comes to like ick feelings, I've learned that I'm very insecure around them for sure. Yeah.
So how?
So I see something that can start our journey. I don't know if I should click it though. I don't know.
Yeah, I couldn't work out what that did. So how do you feel about playing a little game of hide and seek, where I click one of the teleports and you have to?
Sorry, I know you're talking about hide and seek, but I had to know what is the froggy chair in the corner doing.
So
that's very confusing.
So I'm gonna hide in one of these teleports, and you two work together to try and find me. How does that sound?
Okay.
Yeah.
So I clicked like DM, then teleports, and then I'm gonna click on the green start button. It's the only one that's green. So I'm thinking that might do something. Also, I see there's boss music. I hope that doesn't.
Oh, don't click the boss music.
Okay. I'm gonna click the green star and see if we can find Mary.
So I'm gonna randomly pick. Did that work? Okay. Hmm. Surprised they haven't found me yet. I'll give it a few minutes, then I'll teleport back. So I'm kind of feeling a bit of concern. And my imagination is telling me they might be completely fine and just chilling, exploring the world, or they might be losing their minds. But I have sent one of them a Discord message that they can ping me if they want to end the game. I've already explored this world, so there's not much for me to do except see if they can find me. Maybe I should have said that they can see me from the spawn. Forgot to mention that point. Okay. See if I can find them.
You found us.
We found you.
I came to find you.
Yeah, this is a really big map. I think it would have taken us a long time to find
Yeah.
you.
I forgot to mention that I would have been visible from the spawn point.
Oh, we walked faster then.
We just
Whoops.
ran into the vastness.
Okay.
I saw those teleports and I thought Mary must be at the one with the spaceship. Or like we have to go the whole way.
I picked Pelican. So that's the one I was at.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Was that a spaceship? Because that's what they named the
Yes.
dropships in Halo. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe I don't think this is a Halo map, but it's definitely sci-fi, something like that.
So, how did you guys feel about this little game?
I'm just slowly absorbing information as I go. There were definitely some aspects of like, oh, I wonder what kinds of roleplay you could have here. they've got the buildings and the walls set up for. This is like a base camp, so you'd have people working together here, and then outside the walls, it's very vast and barren. So I imagine this is where like the monsters could be. There's a lot of fun speculation I'm having about what it could be used for. As for the world structure itself, I'm still kind of like, yeah, it's kind of basic. It makes me think it might have been created before more modern tools were, invented, like Silence tool that we use in Event Horizons for, proper GM tools where you can fly through the map really quickly and flip through walls and talk to people and teleport to people and stuff like that. This seems really clunky. Like if I'm supposed to be able to have controls where I'm guiding players, all I can do is jump away and then just be like, "Don't look at me, pretend I'm not here." It's not as effective. But that's what I'm thinking.
And what about you, Firebee? Did you feel any confusion?
Yeah, I think if I hadn't followed Forfidor and let him take the lead, I think I would have ended up very confused and frustrated because of the needing to find you. Yeah, yeah, I know that would have happened. And I probably would have got like a bit panicky as well that I wasn't doing it right. But it's interesting because this VR land, kind of reminded me, like the vastness and emptiness of it, kind of reminded me of Confusion and how there's like no answers and it's just like there's nothing here because I don't know and I can't figure things out. And so the land itself, reminded me of that. But yeah. Yeah, I seem to get very uncomfortable with the confusion for sure. If expectations attached to it, then it's instantly uncomfortable for me. But if it's quite playful and fun, then I'm okay. Or if there's someone else like Forfeitor making it playful and fun, it's a lot more relaxing for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish there was more things you could be playful with here, but it is very empty and there's nothing to interact with, so.
Yeah.
All right.
The only goal seems to be, we gotta find Mary, and it was kind of like, well, we don't know what to do, so let's just keep wandering.
I was just listening to you and staring at all the colors on your planets. It's like, it looks nice.
I'm something to look at, so.
Yeah.
All right, let's try. Here I am deciding between two and feeling a little stuck. Just like we mentioned.
Is indecision a type of confusion, though? I don't know. I'm confused about that.
I feel like it is, but alright, okay, I'm leaning more towards...
It's a form of not knowing.
That one.
Alright.
Okay.
Let's see what happens.
The other one is... Oh, they're both...
I wonder if they
both have trees.
Trees are fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, this one, because the other one is a bit close to this. Or close to the first map we went to.
Recollection. Ooh. I like the bubbles.
there's actually 3 different variants of bubbles.
Yeah, I see 2.
There's the
This is nice.
there's the little ones as well. Like down here.
Oh, yeah. Well, those are similar to the round ones going around, but actually, no, you're right. I think those are different. Yeah, Mary was pointing out there's different kinds of bubbles. They're entirely different art styles, which feels a little clashing, and I'm confused why they didn't just use the one option.
Well, maybe it's symbolic. They all have different motions.
Yeah, they definitely needed different things for some of them. This one doesn't have any books in it, though. I want to say it's more of an amateur world creator where they're just sort of like, well, I found all these bubble assets. I should just use all of them. And not really having an understanding about world synchronicity or aesthetic. What's the term? Keeping things within a singular aesthetic. All of these different shaders are cool to show off, but there's a sense of coherency that happens, or a disconnect of coherency when you just throw everything into a project that you think just looks cooler. I recognize these as bubbles, so they go together. That means I should make a world with all of them, and not really considering how they go together or the styles and the technology. It's very interesting.
How do you feel about it, Abby?
When I first came in here, my first thought was, oh, this is a nice world, and like I would come here to maybe think and ponder things, like under that tree there. And then I started looking at the bubbles because we were talking about those, and I agreed with Forfador about how there's different kinds of ones, and that is a bit confusing. But it's like a whimsical confusion to me, so it's like a more pleasant form, and it would maybe like encourage me to ponder different things if I was in a confused state because of the whimsicalness of the different bubbles, if that makes sense. Yeah.
It's kind of dissonant.
Yeah.
Also, this book is just floating here. There's no context for if it was supposed to like be on a table or in a bubble or anything. It's flat. Like if it was meant to be floating in like underwater, I'd have it at an angle, but like the book's in that bubble over there, but this one's just flat. I'm so confused. How do you make that mistake?
Well, the world's doing a good job then.
It's making me confused. Yeah, I'm trying to understand. I'm like, how do you? What is happening here?
It's interesting because despite all the confusion, there's this like centerpiece of the opposite of confusion for me, which is that tree. So that's like when there's so much confusion and things that don't make sense, then there's this like anchor point, you know, something can be an anchor point for you, and amongst all that, I don't know.
If I were to
there's more furniture.
Theorize as to the symbology of things here, I'd see that whoever built this, perhaps someone who goes to the library a lot, and the library is their relief from confusion. It's where they find answers, and tree represents that the library is their way to ground themselves. And I noticed that the books may have a particular meaning to them, like Mastering Mindfulness, A Guide to Inner Peace, The Science of Happiness, Journey into the Mind, The Art of Productivity, Unlock Your Potential. They're all like
tail. The echoes of time I keep seeing over and over too.
Yeah, they're all themed around self-improvement.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think I'm getting a sense of like someone was like, I want to make a library in VR chat, but I want to make it have a twist. I want it to be underwater. So it's certainly an idea. And I think they set out to make something, but there's also all these flowers growing through the floor. I guess it's sort of like seaweed in a way. It kind of gives it a sense of otherworldliness, and there's a tree underwater too.
Maybe it's a
It's like
forgotten
looking through the
library.
future.
That actually, where did Frothergog go?
I think he went behind the tree.
Ah,
There he is.
it reminds me of
Okay.
I was in Germany last year, and there was this like hole. It was all like a demolished building, and there's just this gap between buildings, and you can see on the sides of the walls where it used to be connected to them. And what I learned is that it used to be a library, and it got demolished, and so I'm wondering if
That would have been by the war then, wouldn't it? Probably that it got demolished somehow, maybe.
it's possible that that had something to do with it.
Oh.
There's still a
Maybe
lot
there
of
is some reference
rubble,
to a real place. Yeah. Huh.
but
I
yeah,
kind of want to go up to like the third level, go up one of those staircases and get a vantage point
yeah.
to
Let's
see
go.
if there's anything different up there. I see this one over here. Oh God. The bumpy staircase. No
Yeah,
one knows how to make smooth staircases anymore.
yeah.
I suppose creating a vast library when you only have textures for a few of them, a few books, it looks a little repetitive after a bit. The unseen path.
I have to believe that the books they've chosen are pertinent based on the fact that they're all a common theme.
Yeah, it's weird. I feel more like I have a sense of like I don't know. I'm realizing I'm doing this, but like I look at this and I go, oh, they just picked their favorite books. There's nothing more to it than that. And I can't think of like I don't know. I feel kind of strangely concrete about that. Like I'm gonna give up the confusion and just kind of make an assumption that would answer all possible questions I have about this that would be solved with why is this book here? Well, it's because the world creator arbitrarily chose that one. And I can't see any connection between these books and the underwater library, but if there was, I feel like I need a bigger explanation.
So water can symbolically be associated with emotions in our inner world and our intuition and our unconscious patterns and stuff. Like if you want to go down that whole route of attaching symbology to the elements and stuff, so maybe that's the coloration here between the books and the underwater library, because they're about inner work, aren't they, and emotions and the consciousness and all that.
Yeah. What would the symbology be of feeling underwater? Feeling like you're underwater?
Like you're drowning? Drowning in knowledge?
Yeah.
Maybe there's a peaceful vibe to it. I know there are people that find comfort in the concept of being underwater, like when like all sounds are more like what's the term? They like dampens a lot of sounds. And depending on the world, actually I don't have my world volume very high. I don't know if there is anything. No, I don't hear anything, but you could have like sounds of whales or the waves crashing overhead and the currents, and it definitely has a very peaceful vibe here. And they do the little particles in the air too pretty well that kind of feel like, underwater particles. Yeah, and I'm curious if it was just another arbitrary choice. I tend to kind of collapse my understanding of things pretty quickly when it's like, well, that doesn't make any sense. It's clearly arbitrary. And then I move on. Because I guess in some cases there's like, if there is a deeper meaning, they're not making it obvious, so it's not my fault that I don't get it.
Oh, interesting.
And it must be arbitrary. That's kind of how I collapse the confusion in me pretty quickly.
Sometimes things just are that simple, they are arbitrary, they are just that, and there's not some long, detailed, meaningful answer.
At the same time,
you would have a lot to say about that.
Even when someone doesn't know why they've chosen certain things, there might be some subconscious reason behind it. Like, sometimes things just feel right.
Absolutely. That's a good point. I feel like a lot of times when I'm making artistic things, like like my avatars, hey you, or someone might say like, oh well, you made this with this, like it can reflect this part of you, or it means this in you, and I'm like, I didn't even realize that, but I think subconsciously it could be true. And that's something I don't really pick up much when I see art in people's creations, with the idea of oh, they did this, they must have this subconscious part of them that they're not aware of. I don't tend to gravitate toward those conclusions because I don't like assuming what people have going on in their heads, which could be personal or maybe even offensive, to assume like, oh, this place makes me uncomfortable. It means the artist is dealing something really, tragic in their life, or dealing with that. And it's like, is it? Or maybe it's just a technical error and something broke. I hate assuming too far because it tends to lead to this presumptuousness that makes me uncomfortable. And so the confusion is like, I'll be okay with a certain level of confusion with that's arbitrary, or, oh, if they intend something, then I want to go figure it out. And then I'll come to some conclusion and then either move on or be more curious. So, yeah.
Is that how you feel about your own work, that you don't want people to read too much into it?
I get flustered when people read into my work because I'm like, oh, I didn't even know that. But it makes me feel kind of like weird and fuzzy on the inside. It's like, I appreciate that someone found something interesting to take away from it that I didn't intend. It might make me frustrated if it's like that was the opposite of what I wanted you to take away from it, but I haven't had a lot of pieces of art that are very dedicated to being something very specific. So they're typically very more abstract. So I'm totally chill with that, but it is humbling because it's almost like I put myself out there, and it's like it's a piece of me. So to take something away from it in your own way is like, oh, well, it feels weird, but let's go with it because that's kind of fun.
It's like an appreciation, but it can also feel disconnected from if you don't feel what they're feeling from it. I guess that can feel like you're disconnected.
Definitely. Exactly. Yes.
All right. I think we have time for a couple more, or at least one more. Let's see, we've done that one. What would be a good fair world next? I'm not going to do Boat of Thoughts. We've been there a few times.
Boat of Thoughts. Were we at the quest one with that, or was that for a different emotion?
I can't remember what it was for. Okay, so There's a third one. Let's go to the swamp one. I like the sound of
Sweet.
I think I know which one. Maybe not. There's probably a lot of swap worlds in VR chat. Yeah, but not the same. So purple. I love purple.
You know, it's definitely like in video games, purple is often associated with like poison, and for the idea that this is a corrupted swamp is like, yeah, this fits.
Look at the pattern in the sky.
Oh, I never noticed that.
The pattern's really strange. I'm seeing like a big octagon. It's like usually a skybox is either a sphere or a cube, and I can even see a seam for the square skybox. But or actually no, it's a circle. It's all flowing from the very direct top above us.
Yeah.
I don't know what those walls are.
Yeah, I just spotted those walls. They're quite unusual for sure.
I thought maybe it was an error in the skybox and was confused about that, but I'm starting to think maybe they're intentional. Is like the swamp is so corrupted they needed to put these absolute sky-high building-sized walls to keep all the corruption in.
That could be. You see, you're trying to explain it again.
Yep. I'm going to keep doing that. I'm not apologizing.
Unapologetically avoiding confusion.
Yeah, that's just what I like to do in these worlds, because putting hypotheses around is like, this is like science, you know?
All right. So I'm gonna follow Firebee. How do you feel
staring
about
at this thing? So it's the kind of confusion that is a mystery to me, and I like mystery. So like I can't help but stare up into this pattern in the sky that's over everything, because that's a big point of mystery and confusion for me. Like, what is that, and what's its purpose, and what's it doing? But it's not in the sense where I need those to be answered. I'm just like experiencing it. So that's the feelings I'm getting from this world. Yeah, it's like, yeah, there can be mystery and confusion, and that's one of the more gentle or more peaceful aspects of confusion, I guess. Yeah.
I'm wondering what's at the edge of the swamp.
Shall we go?
We'd have to keep walking for a bit, but yeah. I don't know which direction.
Which direction?
Maybe one of the corners of this weird skybox, but we might find something. At least an edge. Ugh. I don't think I like the weird shader in the water. It will put things in front of my vision based on what's like in my camera render. I forget what it does, but
yeah,
oh, a bridge.
I've registered this as a fair world because of how tall and vicious the grass feels, and the water is kind of uncomfortable.
Oh, this says something. Handle with care. Fragile. Thank you. Well, it got tossed into the swamp, so I'm guessing it was maybe part of some sort of storytelling.
This is a place where things get dumped.
Firebee got bigger to look over the grass.
Yeah. It's quite uncomfortable, isn't it?
Yeah, I can. It causes like a not so great confusion because I can't see where I'm going, and I'm like, oh, where am I going?
More confusing for the tiny characters.
Yeah. Yeah, small bunny. Small bunny isn't good here. Ah, this just feels like it's never ending.
It does feel like that, doesn't it?
I kind of like being under the grass a little bit. Kind of like mysterious.
Yeah, it's interesting how different parts of the world can be like a bit frustrating, other parts can be more mysterious, and
Well, this is
confusing.
unnerving.
Yeah, oh my god.
Stick my head through it.
Oh,
Can't jump into the
it's Collider.
beautiful pattern.
Alright, let's see what the camera sees.
I clipped out of bounds a little bit. I can't see the edge of the world. These walls are reflecting this weird effect from the ceiling.
The edge?
It's also underneath us.
I'm not actually going to explain what I see in the edge. I'll leave you to.
I have an idea, and it's a technical one.
Right, exactly.
My camera to do this.
Cameras can't always move through walls, but sometimes maybe. Let me see. I gotta focus.
Can't seem to get through it.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Yeah. I'm gonna fly away. Oh, I can't get that far away. I wish there was an unlimited fly cam. Wait, I have a. Hold on. I keep forgetting.
Oh, there we go. Oh, what the heck?
Drone, fly for me. I'm gonna go really high. Yeah, this whole place is boxed in. This is, I'm gonna assume, okay, I think I know what's going on. The creator doesn't know how to turn this skybox into a skybox. So they assigned a bunch of big cubes, arranged it in a very haphazard octagon shape, and then just sort of hoped you didn't notice. They accidentally left some sort of reflection or something that reveals the edges of these boxes, and it's like all the way up to the ceiling now. I can see now.
Or it's intentional. And I'm not going to explain why.
This feels like an amateur mistake. I don't know. I think my understanding of how to technically build worlds, if you don't know how to build a skybox, you might think, well, if I put a skybox texture on a cube and then just duplicate that cube around the edges of the map, that feels like an exact kind of mistake that someone who is unfamiliar with world creation would make. And if that was intentional, there'd be way more provocative effects you could do to make it more uncomfortable if you were really trying to do that. So that's my takeaway. I know I'm answering our confusions, but
all right.
It's like looking at like a piece of pottery where someone tried to make a handle and the handle fell off and goes, "Oh, that was intentional."
I'm trying to go through the top of the roof, but it's taken a while.
Yeah, the camera, the regular fly camera has a limitation on how far away it can go from you, but yeah, you're just moving very slowly. I moved.
Okay.
All right. One more for us to take a look at.
Let's check it out. Ooh, snowy. This looks good.
Little do they know, this is about the only snow world I've been to that made me uncomfortable. I can't sit on the bench, so I'm sitting in front of it.
Yeah. This loaded really fast for me, so that must be nice. The film grain is interesting, but it does give a nice low. What's the term? Lo-fi. Lo-fi is the term I'm thinking of. Very lo-fi.
I'm assuming Firebee is able to enjoy it.
She has been having internet issues, so it could be downloading really slowly. There she is.
Welcome.
Welcome.
It's nice in here.
I'm gonna go into the snow. It's really deep.
Snow bath.
My feet won't go any lower.
So I actually set this as a fear world because outside of this area, feels kind of claustrophobic, and for me at least.
Yeah, I mean, there's the one source of light in the center, so. Oh, yeah, I'm curious. I wouldn't be surprised if something jumped up and ate Firebee out here.
Oh.
Pretty vast over here, yeah.
Interesting. It actually kind of feels more like an open field now, which actually is kind of nice.
Huh.
It's interesting though, because the snow's only falling on the right and the left and not the middle.
Yeah.
Which is strange.
I think it was like some limitation of the particle effects. They could only do so many. I guess it's not unheard of that snow can kind of fall from one direction more than another, but it's not. Yeah, it's a little weird. They could have made it more of like a blanket-wide zone effect.
So symbolically, what about this world might you associate with confusion? If anything.
It does give me some essences of concern going back and forth on like confusion and concern. The lo-fi music that's playing has like a loaded gun noise that like clocks as a part of its beat at certain parts. And that makes me think, oh, it's like trying to be like, you know, like the super sad, like lo-fi, like I want to come here to drown my sorrows in that beat, that aesthetic of like, you know, a gun in the sequence there gives me a sense of like, oh no, I hope this isn't going where I think it's going.
Right.
Like the whole sorrow, sadness that I can sense. But there is sort of an edginess to it where people just kind of like that, and I don't know. I think maybe that's also a thing. But
yeah,
I don't know. That's what I'm confused about. Like, is it meant to be this or that? Should I do something about this creator?
Right. So one thing I noticed is that all the trees are black in the middle, at least.
Yes.
And so
even in this side, yeah,
that
the light only highlights them.
That is definitely a concerning element, because it feels like if there was a predator,
is black and white.
If there was a predator, I wouldn't know because the trees are black.
Oh, if something was coming out of the woods to get you.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. I mean, that's just more concern, yeah, but...
It's confusing how... Oh, sorry, Father Darky.
No, you go. I'm just rambling.
Yeah, I say it's confusing how it's like such a peaceful world in a way, but so dark as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm confused at how I can feel both things at once.
That's definitely an aesthetic of lo-fi to some degree. It's dark and cozy, where people are struggling to understand their emotions, and they don't want to feel absolute terror, but they want some way to consolidate the sadness they're feeling, and they'd rather do it in a way that makes them, I guess, not feel as bad.
Yeah.
The film grain gives it that scratchiness, the like a filtery, like, I'm trying to think of like the word, but like it's not reality. It's fiction. It's sort of, it's an aesthetic.
I also feel like the fog is quite symbolic of confusion.
Yeah. From the center,
and a blizzard as well.
It's more effective.
Yes.
And how some of the trees are like dead and some have leaves, so they're technically alive is a little bit.
Yeah.
I think it's also winter technically makes trees look dead.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And then you get the evergreens that are still alive. What am I talking about? Alive.
The horizon of pine trees in the distance. Yeah, there are certain angles I'm noticing. Some of these trees are flat textures, and you can only see them from one direction, like the center. I want to say there's also a sense of nostalgia in this. If you grew up somewhere where there's lots of snow, maybe as a kid, you might have seen a tree kind of look like this with super heavy clumps of snow all over it.
Yeah.
And when you look out in the dark, where somehow the snow is dampening all the noise, it feels eerily quiet, but in a calming sense. And somehow the bright white snow is still keeping everything just visible enough, even in like the dead of night. And there's not really a way to recapture that sense of emotion or feeling, I should say. And this is trying to get that particular element. It's trying to recreate that I do feel like I'm returning back to that time in my life. And even sometimes as an adult, if I look at it like my parents have this giant hill of a backyard, and when the snow comes, it's completely covered, and you can look out at like this huge area of just white, strange and kind of relaxing.
I feel like there's a kind of stillness or timelessness about snowy scenes, and that I also feel fits quite well with bystander, the concept of bystander, like just
really, there's really so many interpretations. I think you could speculate for like hours about what this could mean or what the world creator was doing.
All right. Any final thoughts, Fabi?
I don't think so. No, not that any are coming to my head right now. I just enjoy the journey each of these meetings takes me on with other people. I really enjoy that, and the things I understand and become aware of, and other people's perspectives and thoughts. And I enjoy the whole process a lot. Yeah. Even when it's hard.
I do kind of find it interesting this is PC only when it has very easy to replicate
that is interesting
elements of Quest. Like this could easily be uploaded to Quest. I think the only PC element I can think of is the film grain and the bloom. Those are post-processing effects, and you can only have that on PC, which makes huge differences.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, it's you don't get any bloom or any like ambient occlusion or color grading at all on Quest. It's really quite boring.
The
Oh.
standalone's really not that great. Yeah, I've just normally I go in standalone, but I'm getting virtual desktop because since I got a PC like last year in October, I've just noticed the difference, and I'm
Ooh.
like I can't handle standalone anymore. It's not really that
Mm.
good. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, gonna
Do
plug
you
in now.
do you use Steam Link? Have you heard of that?
No, so I've not tried that, but I think I was coming up against an issue with my Meta app because I can't get into my Meta app anymore because it's connected to my
Oh,
Facebook and they have two-step authentication and it's connected to my
Mm.
old number and I can't get in contact with them to change the new
oh
number.
no.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to try. My last option is virtual desktop, and if that doesn't work, I'm just going to have to factory reset my whole headset and Meta thing and
Hmm.
start a new one. Yeah.
Yeah, I I tied my Meta headset to a fake Facebook account because I didn't want to have those
Yeah.
be
Okay.
connected. If something happened to
Mm.
one, you would,
Yeah.
yeah, wouldn't be able to use the other.
That's a good
Although I
idea,
say that and I
actually.
tie Google to so many things, I'm like, "Oh, I gotta not do that." But
Mm.
I needed to, so I keep putting it off. Anyway, we're rambling.
Okay. Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. Do we want to finish off in Liminal Hub, or should we stay here?
Yeah, we could.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm, I'm cool with whatever. Yeah, we got a couple sign people back at Event Horizons, but soon we'll might have to explore some other stuff. I'm
Mm.
working on that one world. That'll probably take a while, so
Nice.
we'll see.
Mm. That's exciting to hear.
Thank
Mm.
you.
All right. Let's go to Liminal Hub, mainly for the
Yay.
finale music.
Hooray. Were we gonna replace this donut thing at some point? I thought we
um,
were gonna use the one of the tree
uh,
gazebos at some
um,
point.
no. The gazebo will go somewhere else. Um,
Oh, well, what's this one do? Feels a
this,
little low poly.
yeah, might get a slight upgrade, but it's gonna stay open air. That makes sense.
Oh, okay. Hmm.
Woo.
All right. So reflections. How? What have we learned today about confusion?
Hmm.
Mm. I have learned that confusion doesn't have to be just negative and overwhelming.
Mm.
Originally, when we first started discussing confusion, I only had the perspective of it being an icky, overwhelming, negative experience for me. And now I understand that it doesn't have to be that way. And we had examples in different worlds where it can be playful, it can be
Mm.
mysterious, and like there can not knowing everything and being in that state of confusion, it can be pleasant if you think about it in the right sort of way, or just look at it from a different angle, I guess. I can't say I'd be able to do that in every instance, especially if it's something that's very important and meaningful. But it's nice to have that new knowledge because I didn't have that at all before. So yeah, that's what I learned, which was really helpful.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
What about you, Professor?
I think I learned that you still have a long way to go to really embrace confusion.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see myself needing to do it that often, but even in general, I'm still very much in a tendency to avoid it as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'd say it's a tough negative emotion in most cases, but I think it's more or less, I've learned that it's more about expectations than the actual emotion itself. To be expected not to be confused is something that is pretty heavily pushed onto, I'd say, myself throughout my life, and that kind of experience has turned me into someone who doesn't feel comfortable in it that much anymore. So there's probably some healing to do involving being in it some more, trying to embrace it a little bit better.
Yeah.
I feel like it's an interesting thought for me where confusion feels infectious, whereas concern is like the opposite. When someone else is concerned, you feel more at ease, whereas if someone else is confused, it feels like you're uh, getting some of that confusion on you. Uh, so yeah, my reflection is kind of a question. My next question is if there's someone else carrying the concern, does that make confusion easier? If if I feel like I'm able to follow someone else, is that what makes it feel okay to be confused?
For me, that would be a yes, yeah. I learned that with Forfador that yeah, if someone else is helping carry it, and it's more of like a communal effort and like a sharing amongst people, then it's much less intense, yeah. But if it was just me on my
Yeah,
own, it's just too much, yeah. But I'm quite a people
yeah,
person, so that would make sense for me.
definitely that level of judgment and concern and expectations. If everyone's confused, then you know, you, unless all of you are hyper, you know, against all of you feeling the emotion together, I
Mm.
doubt the situation could be that much worse when everyone's working together.
Yeah.
Um, so it's definitely easier to share the emotion of confusion than it is to bear it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say there's even less confusion when you know other people are confused because
Yeah. Yeah.
if you
Oh,
didn't know everyone else was also confused, that would be very confusing.
oh, that's interesting. Yeah,
Mm.
there is a degree of connectedness there. Like, oh, I'm not
Yeah.
alone in this. Therefore, it's normal to feel confused.
Relatability, which is
Mm,
really important with people to be able to relate to each other, is very calming and healing for everyone.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm.
Do we have any appreciations to give?
I have an appreciation for you guys helping me carry my confusion today a little bit. Yeah, and being like supportive that way and aware of that. And I really appreciate that. Otherwise, I would have definitely have got like overwhelmed sometimes and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate Mary, you leading this in a time of confusion for Bridgemakers with our leadership shake up a little bit. So that's been, I think you've been doing great. And we're on time. This is like, usually we are going on and on, probably only exploring a couple worlds, and then lots more discussion on the emotion. So I think this was well done.
Yeah, it's very successful for sure.
I'm doing my best.
This tiny crowd.
I'm finding myself realizing I've absorbed more of what Hayu's taught than I thought I did. It's kind of
less confused than you realized.
Yeah.
That's cool.
My appreciation is I feel like if I'd just visited these worlds alone, I would have got a lot less out of them than I did today with you two, and also especially in answering those questions in the beginning. Made me feel like I've learned something, and also there's a new avenue of things for me to think about and feel through. So I'm also appreciating the circle for that reason. All right. Do we want photo?
Yeah.
A quick photo. How can we make a photo confusing
now? We could all climb into a tree.
Okay.
We each wear each other's avatar.
That would be so confusing. I need to be bigger. Let's see. Oh no, wait, there's like a junky bit. Oh wait, what's this?
You take a picture and you have to figure out where we are in the picture.
For some reason I'm getting stuck on the there we go. Alright, let me get the camera.
No.
Oh, you fool.
Hold on. I've got this random chair in my hand. I don't know what that's all about. I'm confused. This chair got in my hand. It's like a tiny chair. Okay, I'm good. Oh, what the hell?
Oh, did you drop the chair? You dropped the chair.
I did.
It sends you back down when you let go.
Oh.
Yeah.
That makes sense now. Oh, I'm sorry, I suck at this.
It's okay. We have time. We're still early.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm lining up my camera.
Breathe and just one step at a time.
Take your time.
No.
No.
All right. Let's see if I can help figure this out. This is a little awkward to get to. I tell you what. I'm gonna make it easier by giving us more jump. You should be able to jump from the other side now. We can jump from here now.
Sunlight hitting the bark. You can kind of see this is a
You keep
platform
jumping, you'll
to stand on.
eventually get the height you need.
It's so silly. Oh yeah, it's jump height changes based on if you hold a trigger down. Oh wait, how does that work in desktop?
Evelyn's been pretty bad at mechanics like this. It's all good. Yeah, there you go. There we
You
go.
did it! Okay. Let me figure out where I need to stand.
Towards the sun.
If I can stand up here. Oh, okay.
Oh no.
Oh, and we got the proper music.
Is that
Perfect.
Alright, I took a photo of us from behind. That's not confusing.
See if I can get one in the shot. From behind is quite funny. That would be a confusing. I'm gonna take that idea. Okay. Well.